Hello friends, myself I am Advocate Uday Shirgopikar from Kolhapur. In my earlier introductory video, I have explained you why some knowledge of law is essential for a common man. And in this video, I am trying to simplify first of all some provisions under Consumer Protection Act. Before focusing my attention on the act, I would like to explain you the background. As per traditional view, up to first half of 20th century, that is up to 1950, the prevalent view in many countries was that in contract all parties are equal, they are on equal footing, and every person is competent to take his own decision, every person is the best judge of his own interest. But reality is quite different. All are not on equal footing. When, as per traditional view, when purchaser used to buy goods from the market, the view prevalent was buyer be aware. That principle was known as buyer be aware. The seller, that is the trader or manufacturer, was under no obligation to provide goods of a particular quality or particular quantity or purity, etc. He was not assuring anything, and it was for the buyer to select goods for what use he wants and what type of goods he wants to purchase. That selection was to be made by the buyer, and if he makes a wrong choice, then he has to suffer. But during the course of time, the product became complicated. Goods and services which normally person purchases become complicated. Even a skilled purchaser also is ignorant about the many complications in the product. He is poor person. He doesn't know anything. Suppose if a common man buys a television, TV or fridge or a car, he doesn't know technicalities in that material. So if he selects a wrong goods, then naturally he is put in loss. On the other hand, the trader or manufacturer or service provider, they are well versed, they are skilled persons, they have full knowledge. So also a common purchaser, common man purchaser doesn't have knowledge of law, what he is purchasing, under what terms and conditions he is agreeing. He doesn't know anything, and undue advantage is taken by the seller or trader or manufacturer. Onerous conditions are put on the buyer, burdensome conditions are imposed. He doesn't know what he is agreeing, and he knows such a thing only when he comes in trouble. Then he realizes that really he has agreed the onerous conditions in the contract of purchase. So therefore, the view came forward that the consumer who is vulnerable to exploitation from many sides, he needs to be protected. Weaker section is to be protected. We know that from 20th century onward, many states have accepted the policy of welfare state. So it is the responsibility of the state to achieve welfare of the citizens. So weaker section needs protection. That sensation came forward, and In the light of this situation, the Consumer Protection Act came into force. Actually, many Western countries passed the consumer protection law earlier. Even international covenants also was passed. And in India, Consumer Protection Act 1986 was passed. This act is later on modified and present act is Consumer Protection Act 2019. I will try to explain this act in few videos and I will simplify without going into much depth of legal complications, legal technicalities. So first of all, I need to explain some basic definitions which are included in this act. In fact, these definitions are also very complicated. I am trying to simplify these definitions. Firstly, as this act is known as Consumer Protection Act, so we must know what is the definition of consumer. As per this act, consumer means any person who buys goods or hires services for consideration, that is for paying price, and mostly that is for his own use. That is, he should not use it for resale. He should not purchase it for resale or just like a trader. Under this act, if a person purchases goods or services for resale, then he is not covered under this act. He is not a consumer. So also, if commercial activity is carried on with the help of these goods and services, then also he is kept outside the definition of consumer under this act. But there is one explanation and it is made clear that if a person buys goods or services and thereby carries on his earning livelihood, that is self-employment, he is undertaking self-employment, then as a special case, such a purchaser is included in the definition of consumer. So this is in short the definition of consumer under this act. Then another definition which needs to be explained to you, that is the definition of goods. Goods means every type of movable property, that is property which can be moved from one place to another place, that is movable property, distinguished from immovable property such as house, agricultural land, etc. So movable property, that is included in the definition of goods, and in addition to that, the food items defined under Food Safety Act, they are also included in the definition of goods. The next definition which I need to explain is the definition of service. Service means the service of any description, such as banking service, wherein the customer is depositing money and he is borrowing money from the bank and he is availing many services of bank, such as locker facility, then cash credit facility, then RTGS facility, NEFT facilities, etc., etc. All these facilities we are obtaining from bank. So bank is service provider. Then insurance company. Common man pays insurance premium and insurance company gives protection, that is coverage, to the customer. So this is a service. Then transportation of passenger as well as transportation of goods, material. In that situation, the transporters accepts price from us, from a common man, and transports from one place to another place, passenger as well as material goods, etc., etc. So this is a service. Then entertainment. When we go to watch a movie, then we pay the price of 10 ticket and we watch the movie. That is also service. Even news services, newspaper is also service provider. They are providing us information about what is happening around us. Then media channel, electronic media. So all these services are included, and many other services of any description. We can understand with the help of these examples what is meant by service under this act. So this is the definition of service. Then another definition which I need to explain is the definition of defect. Defect means, as per law, any one or more imperfection, defect in goods, a one or more imperfection in purity, quality, quantity, potency, or that is the power of that goods, any imperfection or shortcoming, that is covered under the defect in simplification. Then deficiency, that also I need to explain that definition. Deficiency that happens in case of service. Any imperfection, shortcoming or inadequacy in service regarding purity, quality, quantity of the service. Then negligence on the part of the service provider to provide any material information or making a wrong statement, false representation to the service purchaser, that amounts to deficiency in service. Suppose if a purchaser purchases seeds from seed seller and the seller doesn't inform him how it is to be sowed, how it is to be planted, what type of precaution is to be taken, if he doesn't provide him information or doesn't give pamphlet, that amounts to deficiency in service. I would like to tell you, in the definition of service, even doctor or lawyer, they are also included. So if there is any deficiency, then they are also liable for action. So this is the definition of deficiency as per this law. Then another definition which I need to explain you, that unfair contract. Unfair contract means any contract between manufacturer, trader or seller on one part and the consumer on other hand, which takes away right which is given to the consumer under this act. Significantly, if the right is taken away by this contract, then that contract is called unfair contract in short. Suppose if in a contract unreasonable obligation, burdensome condition is imposed on the consumer, then that is unfair contract. Then suppose if contract makes a provision for one-sided termination, unilateral termination of contract, then that is also called unfair contract. Then another definition which I need to explain, that is the definition of unfair trade practice. When the service provider or trader or manufacturer makes unfair contract and misleads, tries to deceive the consumer, then that is called unfair trade practice. Then another thing is that, another definition which I need to explain you is that restrictive trade practice. If the trader or service provider tries to make manipulation, monopoly in his own name, or he cuts a supply in such a way so that price is to be increased, or make some condition that you must purchase it in package, you must purchase this along with this thing. This type of practice is called restrictive trade practice under this act. Another definition which I need to explain you is the definition of manufacturer. The simple answer is person who manufactures goods. But in addition to that, law has included person who assembles particular goods after purchasing components from other customers. That assembler is also called manufacturer. Then any person who makes packing and puts his own mark, he is also called manufacturer. Then another thing I need to explain you, the service provider. That person who provides service is called a service provider. Then trader. Trader means the person who distributes, sells any goods or services. He is called traders. So in this way, I have tried to explain in simple words some of the definition under the Consumer Protection Act. We will proceed further in my next video. If you like this video, give us like, share this video with your friend circle, and please subscribe to my Legal Safety channel. Thank you.